Hey guys, so I've been meaning to do this video for a while now, and I just wanted to make sure that I really got it right and included everything. So today is the day. I'm going to give you guys the tour of my home studio. This studio transformation has been such an inspirational and very fun and creative part of my move. But I've held off for a little bit on making this video because I really wanted the studio to be right when I show it to you guys. It's still like a little bit of a work in progress, and you'll see that, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys around. I'm also going to share with you guys how I transformed this studio from a regular bedroom in a house that we're renting to a full-on working home photography studio space. So the first thing in transforming the studio that I really wanted to do was cover up the carpet. I looked at a bunch of different options on how to do this, different ways to do this. I really wanted a wood flooring look, but I couldn't find a good DIY option that could be moved if we did decide to move again, and also something that wouldn't ruin the carpet underneath. Because since we're renting this house, the carpet had to stay. So I went on Pinterest to find a solution, and looking at pictures of gardens and houses in Morocco, I actually found this rug layering idea. So I decided to go ahead and try and go with that, fix the carpet by trying to add more carpet. And I went to TK Maxx or TJ Maxx in the US, and I found most of the rugs at like a really reasonable good price there. After the carpet was done, I wanted to move on to creating a great hair and makeup station where artists and models could come into the space and get ready for the shoot and have enough space to do that. I also replaced the dark, heavy green curtains with a much lighter sheer white linen curtain. It really transformed the space and brightened it up and allowed a ton of natural sunlight to come in. I also ordered a set of auto poles, so this really changed the space and let me use it in the best way possible. I ordered them on Amazon, and I think they were about $50 each, but they're not like regular backdrop or light stand holders. They are able to go from the floor to the ceiling, and so you have no extra space being used. It allows me to really use a lot bigger backdrops and not have as much stands sitting around the room. So walking into the studio, this is the first impression of the room. So as you can see over here, I have a desk area, is sort of like a makeup area, as well as like some client chairs for clients to sit in. Over here, I sort of have like a little digitech area where I usually set up my computer. And here you can kind of see the full view of the room. So just starting over here, I have a cute little coat rack where I have my clients hang their bags and coats. I also have a mirror where models can check their outfits and stylists can work as well. Over here, I have backdrops that have been cut, so they're much smaller, usually for still life shooting and things like that. I just sort of like hung them to the wall here because space is really limited, so I kind of just have to use what I can for storage space. I store some of my lights in this corner, but sometimes if I don't need them, I'll also store them in the closet back there that I'm going to show you guys too. So I have my stool, some reflectors. This table, actually, it's a great table for a DIY studio because it's just one of those fold-out tables. So if I am shooting a still life thing, I can always just fold it out and shoot on that table rather than having a huge table all the time. When trying to figure out how I was going to hang a backdrop in this room, I had to be sort of creative. I couldn't really just use regular light stands, backdrop stands to hang backdrops, so because that would just take up way too much space. So I bought these auto poles on Amazon, and they are the best invention ever. They're amazing. You can move them all around the room. I can take them on location with me. They're really just great. They have a mechanism to pretty much fit to any wall, and I can lower and raise the backdrop as needed. I can pull them apart, make them closer together, so they're really just super, super versatile, which is exactly what I needed in my small studio space. Some of the smaller backdrops I'll just tape to the wall, just because it's easier than hanging them. If it's okay for me to light it that way, then usually I'll just do that. Over here I store like just a lot of my backdrops, and so I have like my smaller backdrops right here, lots of colors, different patterns, things like that. I just store those in like a little bin, and then I have my reflectors as well here. Those are super useful, and then I put all of my taller, bigger backdrops in the corner here. So over here you can see my little client seating area. I have these two super, super cute pink chairs that I actually bought from TJ Maxx. Well, here it's actually called TK Maxx, but I absolutely love them. They're such cute and comfortable little pink chairs, and my clients so far have really liked them. I also, in my studio, I tend to keep a lot of books, so if anybody wants to have a little read while they're sitting there, they totally can. So here you can see my little makeup area. It's like super cute and perfect. I have this little light for makeup artists if they need more light. And I have my makeup artist chair. So it's like one of these chairs that can go up and down and swivel and all of that. So it's perfect for hair and makeup styling. In this closet here, I actually keep most of my kit. So I have lots and lots of supplies. In this box, I keep all of my cleaning supplies. So if I'm shooting still life photography or jewelry, things like that, then usually you need quite a bit of cleaning supplies, and always need latex gloves so you don't mark up the jewelry. I ordered this shoe rack online to be able to really have more shelving in this closet and better store my cameras and my lenses and hard drives and things like that. I also have this little bag. I always take this on location with me. If I'm ever shooting out, I just put like little memory cards in it and things like that, other things that I would need. On this shelf, I keep a lot of A-clamps and like lighting equipment, some mirrors, those types of things. And then down here I have my beauty dish, some other lighting equipment, another reflector. I have a whole bunch of extension cords from America because so much of my things are in a different voltage than England. I also have down here, I store a lot of my promotional stuff, so business cards, things like that. I love these cute little boxes, so I always store stuff in those. Here is my little Digitech area. It's the perfect area. It's right at the back of the studio, so I usually shoot facing this way. And so I can sort of have my computer here and everything set up while I shoot over here. So in this closet, I have an area where a wardrobe stylist can put clothing, or models can hang clothing, whatever they need. I also store steamers, different little prop supplies. I have a few other backdrops up here. I also always have hair supplies on my sets because you never know when it might be needed. I do store some more of my equipment back here in this closet as well, along with props and things like that. So this is like a prop basket full of little props for mainly still life and beauty photography. I also hung this super cute piece of paper. It's like a poster sized piece of paper, but I hung it on the wall, and it's actually just from Paper Source and was only like $3, but I think it gives the room like a little bit more texture and color. I also just like leave this flower backdrop up on the wall just because clients really love it. I really love it. I actually just ordered it on Amazon and it looks super realistic. Like if I zoom in here, it looks like a real flower wall. It's super hard to tell, and usually people love to take like a little selfie on it, and it's sort of like a nice icebreaker when I have clients over and new people over, so that's always good too. You might have seen here I have a converter box. So when I moved to England, everything that I have was in American voltage. So I believe American voltage is 150 and here in England it's 220. And so I have to convert just about everything. The plug here looks very large and big. You can see it's totally different from the plug in America. So I bought this converter box on Amazon. I wasn't entirely sure how to use it when I first got it, or really what to expect, if it would work all right. But I did a bunch of research and I found it, and it works fantastic. I'm actually able to use all of my lights from America, all of my chargers, everything is able to be used. As you guys can also see, I've put a mosaic of rugs all over the flooring here. So underneath these rugs is actually carpet. You can see over here, because I haven't yet been able to find a rug that fits this space, but I hate carpet with a burning passion. So in my ideal world, I would obviously change this to hardwood flooring and have like an amazing, beautiful hardwood flooring. But since we're renting this house, I can't exactly do that. So I bought these rugs again at my favorite place, TK Maxx. In the States, it's TJ Maxx. And I've just sort of layered them all over the floor, just to give it a little bit more of a unique, interesting, playful look. They're also really good for shooting, so sometimes I use them as like a backdrop, or a model can sit on them as well. Another thing I want to mention is that this studio transformation from a bedroom into an at-home working studio, it can really be used for any type of artist. I mean, that can work in a relatively small space. It doesn't have to be just photography. I'm a photographer, and so that's what I use it for, but this room has fantastic lighting, and it could also be used for maybe like a painter studio or someone that does screen printing. Many different types of art could be done in an at-home studio. Another thing that I really want to mention is that I was able to actually pick a house with this type of idea for a studio in mind. So taking that into consideration, I was able to look at ceiling height and being able to have a room that was large enough to be able to put my lights on the side and photograph people and have a makeup area and have all these specific things that I wanted. So that was something that I definitely took into consideration when looking at different houses and looking at different rooms. So the exact size of my studio, including the bay window area, is 13.5 width by 14 length. So I shoot on the 14 length side, and then I have the bay window area that adds a little bit more space to that 13.5 on the side where I have my makeup area, hair area, and client chairs. In the past, I've definitely used big professional studios, and I've also used spaces in my home before, like my living room and different areas like that. Just moved things around and really used the space the way that I could take advantage of it, especially in places in New York where space is super limited. And they both have their pros and cons, but one thing that I really noticed is that when I'm shooting a subject in a smaller space, whether it be fashion or beauty, it's definitely a more intimate shoot. It's a comfortable shoot. I think my subject tends to feel much more comfortable shooting in a smaller space or in my home rather than a big stark studio where there's lots of people around. And I really just try and make my subjects feel like my home is their home for the day. And in the end, I think that really shows through in the pictures when your subject feels comfortable. For what I do, shooting beauty, still life, and fashion, this space really works great for me. So one thing that I came to find out is that having a studio is really about having the right equipment. I mean, you can have the biggest space or the smallest space in the world, and if you don't have the right equipment, then you're not going to be able to work in that space. So my tip for other photographers is to really just take the time, research the equipment that you're interested in, and invest something that's going to take you a long way. In the end, it's all about how you use the space you have in a creative way to be able to use it to your advantage. So that concludes my home studio process and tour. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this. As always, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Also, if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. Until next time, bye!